You know, the game of football is a physical game. I think, you know, a lot of people would talk about what's a football player, and being strong is probably one of the things that comes to mind. You know, there's physical strength. I think the mental part of the game is so important as well, the mental strength that it takes to train at this level, to compete at this level, to endure the pressures that come with this level. I mean, it's such a roller coaster on game day emotionally. You know, the momentum swings that take place, giving up a big play or creating a big play, and what happens to the sidelines in those cases, and how strong are you to endure it or sustain it. There's a lot of strength that needs to take place, and there's, you know, no strength in numbers. I think because there's 115 guys on your roster doesn't mean that you've got a strong roster, you know. I mean, it's the character that these guys have inside them. It's the standards they hold themselves to, and how strong your culture is to promote all those things. So, you know, we look at developing a person in three ways, you know, as a player, as a student, and as a man, and trying to make them as strong as possible in all three areas.
Oh, wow. Look at you. You got a Ram. What made you do that?
A lot of reasons.
A comfort you wouldn't believe. Luxury everywhere you look. Not to mention legendary Hemi V8 power.
Maybe I should switch.
More people are switching to Ram trucks than ever before, and now get $1,000 bonus cash if you make the switch during Ram Power Days. And now get an average $11,578 in total values on the 2019 Ram 1500.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Hot dog.
Chili dog.
No, Dodger dog.
It's gotta be crawfish.
Now you're talking.
Burgers.
7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day.
Race day.
Calls for Coke.
You know it.
Grab yourself a Coke.
It's Tailgating 101.
The old saying, good things come to those who wait, is just that, old. Those good things, you have to get out there and chase them. We see it in the millions of people we fly around the world, all of them, living proof. Good things come to those who go.
With today's tools, all the information you need is just a click away.
I'm going to show you how to remove the...
And as a member of an electric cooperative, you have access to lots of valuable tools. Tools that help you do it yourself when it comes to controlling your home energy use and budget, leaving you free to be Dad.
What people say, whether it's good or bad, again, after 12 weeks, that's when it's going to count. And we've got to earn where we end up. And, you know, to be where we're at right now is because we're 4-0 and we earned the right to be 4-0. And now let's go earn the right to be 5-0. I mean, that's all we can talk about. It doesn't matter at this point in time what people think, it's what we do about it. And we just have to go out there and play against a really good football team and earn where we fit. And that's really what October is. I don't get a look at it as a fan. I just don't. You know, I mean, our whole program's about earning things and doing things on a daily basis and knowing that if you do it right over a long period of time, you end up where you want. And so you can't just stop in the middle of that conversation and say, oh, great, look where I am now. You know, I mean, we're 4-0 and we want to be 5-0, and that's where it is. So the focus is on that, and the rest of the people, you know, outside of the coaching world can focus on the things that excite them, you know. I just want to be 5-0, and so we'll focus on what we need to do to get to that point. You know, I think across the board we've improved as a football team, and the guys have taken things off of film that we've asked them to. I think they're really good about what we emphasize, putting that out there, you know, for the team. And so, you know, each week it's just finding that new thing that we really think is a focal point of the game plan.
2nd and goal. Holiday will try himself. Down again. And denied. Burnett right there.
They call him Thunder Dan because of hits like that.
For me being a former player here, I really felt like I had to connect with the guys and touch the guys mentally. So it was my job to really try to get the guys to buy into our way of doing things and helping them understand that they represent something way bigger than themselves. And then on the strength and conditioning side of it, I wanted all guys to be more dynamic, more explosive. I truly believe that you create your staff and your program, you create those guys inside that rack, doing squats and doing explosive exercises as a clean. We do a lot of flexibility and mobility work. We do that every single day. I think one of the most important things to development is managing fatigue, which means you can push guys, but at some point you have to pull back a little bit, and then also do things to help guys recover. If they can recover, they're going to be able to push even more. But if you burn the candle on both ends, that candle, it goes away real fast. We have a great group of guys that come from different backgrounds in strength and conditioning. I'm a firm believer in getting a bunch of guys that have a lot of different strengths. When I decided to put together a staff, I didn't want to have a bunch of guys that were exactly like me. Coach Rubbers does a great job doing the athletic performance side of things with our catapult, urine-specific gravity testing, checking the hydration levels, and things like that. We check body weights every single day. Coach Solomon, he does a phenomenal job of being another voice when I step out of the room. He's very smart. He does a great job of meeting with our trainers every single day. And then also we have Coach Taylor, who does a phenomenal job of working with the long-term injury group. Him and Coach Solomon work with those guys during practice, or we're out at practice, just keeping things under control. They're inside working with the long-term injured guys. And then Coach Jadwin Bignon is a guy that I hired on from Catawba. He's a guy that has a lot of experience. He's a guy that's very mindful and is another set of eyes for me as well. So once again, just a great collective group of guys that do a great job of working together and serving our players.
My primary role is athletic performance and making sure that we're checking body weights, overseeing our catapult system, doing warm-up prescription, doing corrective work, massage work and all the recovery, restoration, and managing kind of the flip side of the day-to-day training plan of what's the dosage of squats, etc. Thunder does that. But on the flip side, I'm doing some of the other things to enhance or make that optimal. Catapult is the GPS tracking system, and its primary role is to manage our dosage of training for what we do in strength conditioning in terms of running, change direction, etc. And it kind of gives us a guide. But more importantly nowadays, with so much football going on, and we're practicing football nearly 6 months out of the year, like how do we take, like we take this data and we got to categorize like what was the intensity, or how do we quantify that training day? And how do we quantify this training day? And how do we quantify it? So it helps us periodize what we do with our football team on the day-to-day practice to make sure that we're not giving too strong of a dosage, right? Like if you have a cold, you take 2 tablespoons of cough medicine or cough syrup and you feel better. If you drink the whole bottle, that's not good. So we try to really manage, the dosage of what we give to them so that they can adapt to the stimulus that we apply. It's really helped our football staff guide which days are going to be our biggest practice days and how to manipulate practice intensities, really. Like, which day is our hardest day? For us, it's our Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is our practice schedule to make sure that we're staying in the realm. And even if we decide to implement a different practice strategy, that we're still staying in the ballpark, that we're not giving a crazy running dosage to the receivers and be like, yeah, we ran this new drill, and the running was through the roof. So now they're going to have increased soreness because the stimulus was greater than what they're used to. So you run the likelihood of being fatigued, and if you have too much fatigue, you run the risk of having, an increased injury. I've had a different level of experience and was a competitive weightlifter for about 5 years while I was 5, maybe 6 years as a strength coach. I like to try and adventure new things. Yoga, I've done a lot of yoga and a lot of different exposures, and I think that gives you a different perspective.
They do a tremendous job, and it's not just with the weights. I think they do a good job, mentoring the guys and talking to them with our nutrition staff about better ways, to have their bodies ready for what they need to do. And it's not just the physical aspect, the mental aspect where you can get grinded out too, and being able to understand how to stay fresh. I think they do a great job with both phases of that.
Here is Perkins flush. He's going to be sacked back at the 21-yard line. They contained him well, and Murchison with another big stop.
You start to see guys develop because of the buy-in process, and it makes it easier to get other guys to buy in once they see that it's been done before. You have guys like Larrell Murchison, who redshirted last year, went through the developmental program. We remember when he came in from Lewisburg College and he got here, he wasn't used to how much we run. He wasn't used to the change direction stuff. He just was really raw. Didn't have a whole lot of an understanding of the weight room, and he came here, bought into the program, and he actually made the statement that redshirting last year was the best thing that ever happened to him because it gave him an opportunity to learn football, but not only learn football, but learn how to develop in the weight room. So when you go out and see that kid have a lot of success, it's like, wow, he has some great gains in the off-season program, but a lot of that is due to him buying in and being willing to listen to what we had to sell. And I think the sky's the limit for this kid, and I think he's going to have a great year, to be honest.
E, where you at, cuz? Give me some word, man. What's going on, man? What's going on, well? What's going on, man?
You know we got to get out.
You already know what's going on, well. My dog live. I went to Lewisburg for the first 2 years of my college career. I played football there, and after my sophomore season, I had a pretty good season. I got some attention from different schools, and the All-American bid out came out, and I was on it. So, that was definitely shocking. So after that came out, different schools hit me up, and they texted me and said they were interested, so I come out to visit. I was getting down on myself. I didn't know what the next step would be. But, January, I got my first offer, and then when the first offer came, it sparked many more. When Coach Dorn had called me and said they had a spot for me, and he put no pressure on my back. He said, you don't even have to sign on signing day. We just want you to make the best decision for yourself. We don't want you to rush anything. So when he said that, I understood that it was definitely more about, we care about you and we care about decisions you got to make for the next 2 to 3 years. So that, being a State fan growing up and coming out here to different visits and unofficials when I was in high school, it led me it was nowhere else to go. It's a surreal feeling, especially coming from JUCO, probably having, I say 500 people at the game to 50-some thousand people at the game. It was definitely surreal, and I'm glad I can make the plays, and do my job to the best of my ability in the ACC. It's a motivation that I have on the inside of me to just get the job done to the best of my ability.
You're hitting it and you want to run out of it. Hit it, separate on contact. One more time. One more time.
I write my goals on the wall all the time. At the end of my sophomore season, they started coming true day by day and week by week. It was always in the back of my mind. I just knew it took a lot of work to get here.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Hot dog.
Chili dog.
No, Dodger dog.
It's gotta be crawfish.
Now you're talking. Burgers.
7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice-cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day.
Race day.
Calls for Coke. You know it.
Grab yourself a Coke.
It's Tailgating 101.
The Learfield Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or at L Directors Cup on Twitter or Facebook. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month, the place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series and the brand with the most J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner.
During Ford Truck Month, get a 2018 F-150 with 0 for 72 or $11,790 in total savings only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
With today's tools, all the information you need is just a click away.
I'm going to show you how to remove the...
And as a member of an electric cooperative, you have access to lots of valuable tools. Tools that help you do it yourself when it comes to controlling your home energy use and budget, leaving you free to be Dad.
Good morning and welcome to Wolfpack Football in October. This is the month that usually starts to separate the pretenders from the contenders in the Atlantic Coast Conference. The Wolfpack wants to be a contender for the conference title, so does Boston College. These two teams are going to square off today to see which one takes a big step forward.
That's awesome right there. Standing O for this group right here, man.
Should be a very good matchup. Both State and Boston College are playing some real solid football. The Wolfpack's unbeaten at 4-0. It's ranked in the nation's top 25 for the first time this year. State stands at number 23 in the AP and number 25 in the coaches poll.
You know, what you see on the, on game day, there's a lot more that goes into it. The fans see one part, and even if you only put in game day and saw what one does on game day, you only get just a blink of what all goes into what these players can, and coaches, do to get it working.
I think it's so important that the guys just focus on doing their job and doing their job well and doing it with repetition and repetition and repetition so that, when you get to those strenuous, stressful moments, you're going to revert back to what you are, what you're trained to be, and you want that to be the same person you are when you're not stressed. And so for us, that's the biggest thing we can do, is work hard, train hard, be smart, prepare our guys the right way, and then when you get out there in the moment of truth, just be that person you're trained to be.
You guys ready to hunt? Yeah. Having fun, owning this stadium because it's ours. Everybody got it?
Here comes a blitz. Finley moves to his right, fires down the sideline. Ball caught by Harmon. Great catch against coverage. There's a handoff. Person over the left side. There's a hole. He's in the secondary. 30, 25. Still moving. Lewis will be the pass catcher. He's got it at the left sideline inside the 10. Handoff Gillespie over the left side. Man at the goal line. Touchdown State. Lines over the right side. Pack's waiting for him. They stuff him. Brown out of the gun. He'll fire a slant off the hands of Smith at the 40-yard line, incomplete. Here's the rugby punt. State doesn't get there. It's wobbly, and Thomas will make the catch, and then he's blasted. Ball pops loose. BC's got the football. He'll hand it off to Glines on a sweep around the left side. The Pack's waiting for him. Pratt with another tackle right there. Looking, fires towards Sweeney. It's tipped, incomplete. Dexter Wright almost intercepted the ball. Ball down. Kick is on its way. It looks good from here. It is. A handoff Person, a little bit of a hole over the right side. Makes a man miss. 30-yard line, heads for the sideline. 35-40. Dragged out of bounds to the 42-yard line. Here's a bad snap, and Finley has to fall on it all the way back at the State 46-yard line. Here is Finley. He has to roll out to his right, fires upfield, caught by Myers at the 32-yard line for a first down. Finley will throw against the blitz down the sideline. Caught by Myers inside the 10-yard line. comes a full blitz. Finley's in trouble, fires to the end zone, picked off by Zach Allen at the 1-yard line, and Person has to wrestle him upfield and out of bounds from the 7-yard line. 1st and 10. Handoff, Glines over the right side. Glines flattened at the 5-yard line. High spiraling punt. Thayer Thomas will back up. He's got it at the 38. Across the 40, up the sideline, 50-yard line. BC will rush for Finley with a throw over the middle. Caught by Thayer Thomas. Good catch. Finley faking. He'll throw over the middle, and it's picked off by Kevin Belzer. He will hand off to Glines, who's met and dropped in his own backfield for a loss.
Hell yeah!
Finley steps up in the pocket. Now he scrambles out to his left. He'll throw left side, wide open Angeline. He's got it at the BC 45. Gillespie makes a man miss at the 40, 35-30, 25-20, and down at the 19-yard line. Handing it away. Gillespie to the goal line, and his momentum carries him into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack. 3 wide receivers out. Here's Brown. Rush, he's going to be sacked. Deontay Holden and James Smith-Williams. Finley has time, fires toward the far sideline, caught by Harmon, a circus catch in front of the BC bench, rolling to his right. Has all the time in the world, fires right sideline, caught by Harmon, steps out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Blitz, here's Finley throwing end zone, caught by Myers, right corner end zone, touchdown. And the Pack will take a 21-3 lead into the locker room.
Now they're proud guys. They're going to come out. You put it on them and finish drives in the end zone. They cannot stop you unless you want them to. Everybody understand that? Nobody gets awards for yards. Points win games. Hey, champions on 2. 1-2, champions.
Handoff going to Ricky Person over the left side. Breaks a tackle, 30-yard line, 35, out to about the 37. Finley will fire right side. Harmon catches 40-yard line. This will be a 19-yard field goal. Nice snap, ball down, kick blocked. And it rolls out of the back of the end zone.
Don't think about it. Okay, don't think about it.
Handoff Glines again, and he's stacked up, stuffed.
Go Pack!
Here's a handoff, Bodine over the left side, picking his way through traffic, breaks a tackle, heads outside, tries to turn the corner near midfield. Here's Finley throwing over the middle, caught by Myers. Myers on a slant to the 40. And we've had no scoring here in the second half. Here comes the rush. Finley's going to fire it, floats it down the right sideline. Caught! Is Harmon, he's into the end zone. Touchdown!
Woo!
Here's Brown faking the handoff. He's going to take off around the right side, 40-yard line to the 30, 25-20. Handoff, Glines over the left side, breaks a tackle, 15-10, clear field. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College.
It's back like a game plan. 10 pictures only, okay? 10 pictures only.
Is Finley throwing to the orbit man. That is Thayer Thomas. Thomas breaks a tackle to the 40. Down the right side, 35, knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Here's Finley handing off to Ricky Person. Person over the right side. Stone fumbles the football, and I think BC's got it with Will Harris falling on it. Boston College has turned the Pack over for the 4th time today, but you wouldn't know it by the scoreboard. State leads by 18. Here's Brown in the pocket to throw. Firing, got a man wide open. It's Walker, 40-yard line, down the right side, 30 to the 20, and brought down from behind. Brown gets the shotgun snap, fires it out right side. Glines got it, clear field to the 5, into the end zone, right corner end zone, Boston College.
The way you carry yourself is a representation of who you're going to be when things get tough. You know, a lot of times it's easy to be happy and excited when things are going well, but what about adversity?
Back to throw, hit, and sack! Back at the 38-yard line, big loss. He'll hand it off to Glines, puts his head down behind those big offensive linemen.
Get the football! Get the football! Rolling on the field, it's a fumble. It's coming by.
Goal to punt from his 10. Here comes a rush, it's blocked. Blocked toward the end zone. It hits in the end zone. It's loose, recovered by Boston College. It's a touchdown for BC.
Be where your feet are. Be present, stand tall, eyes straight ahead, and just keep working.
Finley to throw, gonna fire, wide open to Steph Lewis down the right side, 15-yard line to the 10. Back able to overcome mistakes today. State is 5-0 for the first time since 2002.
Oh, wow. Look at you. You got a Ram. What made you do that?
A lot of reasons.
a comfort you wouldn't believe, luxury everywhere you look. Not to mention legendary Hemi V8 power.
Maybe I should switch.
More people are switching to Ram trucks than ever before, and now get $1,000 bonus cash if you make the switch during Ram Power Days. And now get an average $11,578 in total values on the 2019 Ram 1500.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Hot dog.
Chili dog.
No, Dodger dog.
It's gotta be crawfish.
Now you're talking.
Burgers.
7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day. Race day.
Calls for Coke. You know it.
Grab yourself a Coke.
It's Tailgating 101.
With today's tools, all the information you need is just a click away.
I'm going to show you how to remove the...
And as a member of an electric cooperative, you have access to lots of valuable tools. Tools that help you do it yourself when it comes to controlling your home energy use and budget, leaving you free to be Dad.
This university is on a march to achieve our full potential.
We help empower each other to dream big and do big.
That's why I really love our slogan, Think and Do. When you get these folks from NC State, they don't mind rolling up their sleeves and getting their hands dirty.
Companies want to hire NC State students.
We make something impossible possible.
We've been equipped to go out there and do great things and to change the world.
It's in the DNA of the place. We're here to think and do the extraordinary.
This portion of One with Wolfpack Football is presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, bringing real Coke taste with 0 sugar and 0 calories to Wolfpack fans everywhere.
How about that one?
We do our best to make sure that our athletes are available. We want bodies that are resilient. We want bodies that can tolerate whatever it is that we're going to be asking them to do out in the field. The physical is a critical part, but they always say it's, 90% is mental and 10% physical. And when you think about what we do, we are developing the components of physical capacity.
I want guys to be able to stand tall. I want guys to be able to pick up their brother. And when you can do that, that stuff carry over into life.
You're here till midnight. You're back in here at 6 a.m. And so it takes great focus. Tired isn't part of it. Sick isn't part of it. You got a job to do. You better have enthusiasm about doing it, and sleep doesn't matter, And so I love that. Trying to get yourself and your players in the best place you can be, and that competitive spirit of doing it takes great resolve, great mental strength, and spiritual strength too. I mean, you have adversity throughout these seasons and people come down on you, and having that spiritual strength and resolve to be able to block all those things out and just help your guys get better.
Give me 2 and Ric Flair, 1, 2! 1, 2! You guys found a way to win at the end. We're putting a lot of tough spots on the field. All right, you guys just battled and battled and battled. Tough, that's what we are. And that's a tough team we played. Give them credit. They didn't quit. All right, that punt block's on me. I own it. All right, our turnovers are on us. We own them. Don't take it personal. Watch it and learn from it. Really proud of you guys. Thank you guys for playing so hard, man. I love you. Get up in here. Let's go.